If you have made it to this video, then you have solved the top layer of the Rubik's Mini or the 2x2 cube. So your cube should look like this, okay? I teach all of that solving of the cube with just intuition, but this is the part where we bring in our guide. And what some people have trouble with is just reading the guide. And so I'm gonna go through step by step and show you how to solve the rest of the cube using this guide, which again can be found online and I can link below. So I want to show you in the guide a couple things. First of all, the first couple pages kind of teach you a little bit about the terms that we use. So the top layer, the bottom layer, we have corners, which in this cube, all we have is corners. So when we get to the 3x3, we'll have what we call edges, but we have all corners on this one because it's just a 2x2. And so there's just kind of a couple pages on getting to know the cube. What is the up face, the down face, the left face, the right face, the front face, and the back face. So lots of good information that you can read through there. So pages 4 and 5 of the guide are solving the first and second corners, which I've already shown you how to do in the other videos, so we're skipping that. Pages 6 and 7 teach how to do the third corner, which I've already taught you, so we can skip that. And if you look, pages 8 and 9 are teaching you how to do the fourth corner. And again, this is all with algorithms, and I like to teach this more on intuition, okay? So you are actually, it says right here, you have solved the top layer. So you are already done with page 9, and we are really on the last couple pages, which are page 10 and 11. And that's where I'm gonna teach you how to solve the rest of your cube as long as you have the top layer already solved, okay? All right, so the next step is to make the yellow face. And if you know anything about cubing, you know that the yellow face is always opposite of the white face. So whenever you are looking at the white face, your yellow face is going to be the opposite, okay? There are a couple different cases that you can have when you flip it over. Notice that I have 2 yellow pieces. Some people will have 0 yellow pieces on the top. Some people will have 1 yellow on the top. And sometimes you can have 2, like I have, where they're next to each other, or they can also be diagonal from each other. So I can work out multiple of these scenarios with you, but at the end of the day, you're just going to look and see, which one do I have? Do I have 1 yellow on top? Do I have no yellow on top? Do I have 2 yellow on top? If I have 2 yellow on top, like I do, I have to hold my cube in the way that these are pictured. So if you look, notice that I have 2 yellow here. So if I had that case and I was holding them kind of on top, it says that I would also have to have a yellow down here in the front face, which I don't. So that means I don't have this one. So I'm gonna look at my next one. This one says my 2 yellow are on the right, okay? And I do have 2 yellow on the right. And if you look here, I also have a yellow right here in the corner. So that means this is the case that I have. So this whole page is just showing you how to hold your cube. And now this is where we get into some of the algorithms, okay? And so because I have my 2 on the right, just like pictured, and I've got my yellow one here, again, this is my top and this is my front. So you have to be really careful when you're holding this. Some people mess this part up because when they, like for example, the very first move that you make is a right turn, that means you move it right here. Now this is like your top. Some people tend to make a right move and then somehow like turn their cube back. But if you miss if you make one wrong move, you're gonna mix up the entire cube. So you have to be really careful. So again, we're gonna kind of follow these directions. And so if I'm making a right move, I always hold my left side. I always do the opposite. So if I make a right move, I'm gonna move that once to the right. The next move is an up move. Okay, it means I'm moving the up face, and it says I'm moving it left. So this is my up face right now, so I'm gonna move it left. So notice that I'm holding the bottom and moving my up face once to the left, okay? Then I have a right, and if you look at that little apostrophe or R prime, means a right inverted. So rather than moving it right that way, I'm gonna move it right toward me, which is why the arrow is down. So I'm moving that down. Then I have an up move. So I'm gonna move my up face once, okay? Then this says I have a right move. So I'm turning my right side once, okay? Notice that there are 2 cards here. This means there are 2 moves. So I'm gonna move this to the left, my up face, to the left twice. So 1, 2 times. And then my last one is R prime, or right inverted. So I'm gonna move that right side, instead of away from me, I'm gonna move it toward me. Now it doesn't look like a lot has happened here, but notice I still have my bottom layer, my white layer is all intact, okay? And again, I'm looking at my yellow side, which is opposite of the white side, so put that white side down. Now I have one piece. Before I had two, okay, now I have one yellow piece. So I'm gonna go back and do this again. Notice that it says if one yellow tile is on the up face, okay, that's what I have. And I want it to be in the bottom left corner, just like my picture. I cannot have it in any other place. I need it on my bottom left corner. Now I'm gonna do these steps again, okay? Again, holding this in the bottom left, just like pictured here. It says to move it right, up, right, inverted toward me, up, okay, right, which is away, 2 up moves, 1, 2, and a right move down. Again, it looks like nothing is happening, but there is actually something happening. We are actually lining up the yellow piece where it needs to be. So I'm gonna go back to this page again, okay? And I'm going to see that I still have one yellow piece. So again, I already knew right away to turn it that way because it goes in the bottom left corner. And I'm gonna do this side again. We're gonna go right, up, right invert, up, right, 2 up moves, and then it says down toward me. All right, and it looked like we went from nothing to all of a sudden I have my yellow layer. So I'm very, very close to the end. I've got my white layer, I've got my yellow layer. I need to get all of these corners in the correct spot. So that is gonna be in my next video, but you're gonna do this a couple of times, sometimes once, sometimes 2, 3, 4 times until you get the yellow layer. And come back for my next video on solving the cube for the rest of the way.